What's happening, my Jacked family? Coach Scott here, jackedafter40.com and shreddedafter40.com. You've likely heard the statement that your success in achieving your goal of getting lean after 40 is going to come down to how bad you want it. Are you willing to do what it takes to get lean after 40? I would love to hear how that statement resonates with you. If it rings true to you, please take a moment to drop a comment down below to share your thoughts and feedback on that subject matter. And let me know, are you willing to do what it takes to get lean after 40? How bad do you want to get lean after 40? Are you willing to make the necessary sacrifices, to suffer a little bit, to resist some of the temptations? Are you willing to get at least 7 hours of quality sleep each and every night? Are you willing to hit your calorie target consistently day after day? And are you willing to do what it takes to hit that calorie target? Are you willing to kind of sacrifice that short-term gain, the temporary satisfaction that comes from eating your favorite treats, all in an effort to delay the gratification for the rewards that you're going to reap when you achieve your goal of getting lean after 40? The confidence, the pride, the zest, the vitality that you're going to achieve from that delayed gratification compared to the instant satisfaction that you'll experience from consuming the temptation that's in front of you at that moment. So there are going to be a lot of instances throughout this journey where you're going to be faced with those temptations. And are you willing to do what it takes to overcome them, or at least to navigate those temptations in a way that's still going to allow you to hit your calorie target for the day? So you may have to cut a meal back here or there, or make up for it the next day by eating a little bit less. Are you willing to do those things to hit your fat loss targets each and every week to achieve your goal of getting lean after 40? Are you willing to live an active lifestyle overall, move your body as much as possible and avoid sitting as much as you possibly can? So all of those things that come in the process of getting lean after 40, managing your stress, all that good stuff. Are you willing to do what it takes to achieve your goal of getting lean after 40? Now, if you've been following this channel for any length of time, you likely know my backstory that I dropped 50 pounds of fat 10 years ago to this month, baby. It was an 8-month process of consistent, dedicated effort, but I had struggled for years to drop that fat. So does that mean that prior to achieving this goal, I didn't want to achieve it bad enough? Did I not want it enough? Was I not willing to do what it takes to achieve that goal? I don't know. It's really tough to say. I'd say, in a sense, probably. It probably was. And there was an aspect, like I wanted it bad, but I didn't want it as bad as I did when I finally made that decision. So basically, I'd be good for a few days, fall off the wagon. It was typically, I'd start eating a couple cookies, then I'd justify it in my head. You know what? You've been good for a few days. Let's just fuck it. Like, let's eat the whole box, or we'll start again tomorrow. It's okay. We'll get back on track tomorrow. And just a lot of the self-justification. So in a sense, I wasn't willing to do what it took to kind of become aware of I was aware of those conversations in my mind, but I wasn't willing to counter-argue those statements. I allowed myself to justify it rather than having a counter-argument saying, listen, man, yeah, you could have this temporary satisfaction right now, but you know how bad you want to achieve this goal. You know you're feeling like crap right now. You know you don't have the energy that you would if you were leaner and you dropped this 15 pounds. You know that you would have the confidence if you finally follow through here. I didn't have it within me to battle. I guess as my mindset was a little weaker at the time. Even though I knew I wanted it, I just didn't want it bad enough. Because it's not like I discovered this breakthrough fat loss strategy or cutting edge diet plan or workout plan that's gonna burn a ton of calories. No, I just woke up one morning, caught a glimpse of my side profile in the mirror and thought, enough is enough. It's time to finally achieve my goal and drop this 50 pounds of fat. I finally wanted it bad enough, but I think there's still more to it. Like, I really think that all those attempts for years and years leading up to that moment was practice to get me where I'm at. Like, I don't think I could have done it even with that mindset of finally being ready to drop that 50 pounds. I don't think I would have been as successful if it wasn't for those previous attempts. Kind of learning, being aware of those conversations in my mind, being aware of the habits that were taking place and the consequences of those habits, and wanting to break free from it once and for all. So I learned through that process. So I may not have learned a new fat loss strategy or diet or workout plan. It was learning from all those experiences, from my own personal experiences throughout, and taking those experiences and applying it in that moment. What do I need to do to overcome those situations that have been holding me back, that have been sabotaging myself from moving forward? Now fast forward to today, and I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago that one of my buddies that I grew up playing hockey with, he's a photographer. He reached out and said, you know, I'd love to do a photo shoot with you. And I thought to myself, you know what? It's a perfect opportunity to kind of take my physique to the next level. It really provided that incentive to step things up, and I haven't done a photo shoot in a few years, so I thought it'd be great to have some new updated pictures, and it's fun. Like, I really think the idea of a photo shoot is a very rewarding experience. Again, I believe our training is an art form and our body is a work of art, and having a professional photo shoot is a great way of capturing our masterpiece. So I was initially excited, and that was a huge motivator for me. 10 years ago, I booked a photo shoot in advance. So throughout that 8-month process, I contacted a photographer, put down the payment, so I knew I'd lose that money if it wasn't the case. I told everybody I was going to be booking this photo shoot, and then I had the accountability leading up to it, just sharing my progress week after week. But doing that photo shoot was a great way to capture the moment, that moment of success, and man, am I ever grateful for that experience. But it's interesting because this photo shoot hasn't had the same impact on me. As excited as I was about it when my friend contacted me here, and I do want to do this, I will do it at some point, it's just not that same kind of urgency that I had 10 years ago. So initially he contacted me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start cleaning up my diet and drop, I don't need to drop much for a photo shoot. To be photo shoot ready, just drop a few pounds and I'll be golden there. So it really should only take a few weeks to achieve that goal. But a few days in, all of a sudden I was had the opportunity to have some cheesecake. I thought to myself, you know, and again, this is a big learning lesson. This is where I'm at nowadays, is that when I'm faced with that temptation, I can pause for a moment and think to myself, is this cheesecake going to serve me? And do I actually want the cheesecake? Is the temporary satisfaction that my taste buds are going to experience from eating this cheesecake worth it compared to delaying the gratification a few weeks later, having the cheesecake after I've done this photo shoot and can see my physique as a masterpiece in a work of art, something that I haven't done in a few years here. And I pondered that for a little bit and really thought to myself, you know what? I really want that freaking cheesecake. I sincerely really want this cheesecake, more so than the photo shoot. I'm like, you know, I think part of it is I look good right now. I'm happy with where I'm at. I have tons of energy. My performance in the gym is great. I'm feeling on top of the world, and I'm good. I'm good with where I'm at. That desire to do the photo shoot wasn't as strong as just kind of living a little bit more balanced lifestyle, having the cheesecake when I want it, having cookies when I want it, having a craft beer when I want it, and not really have to be in a calorie deficit. No one enjoys being in a calorie deficit, no matter how well structured it is, no matter how flexible you are with your diet, including a lot of your favorite treats and foods, and just managing it in a way that allows you to sustain your energy throughout. You're still in a calorie deficit. You still have to make some sacrifices. You're still going to suffer a little bit. And I just wasn't willing. I don't want to do this photo shoot bad enough compared to just enjoying these little moments here, enjoying that opportunity of having the cheesecake. Again, it's in this situation where I'm already looking good. I'm already happy with where I'm at. I'm in my sweet spot. I'm living my life to the fullest. And I just don't, it's not a necessity to get a photo shoot done right now. It's not going to, will it add much value to my life? Is it worth it for me to get this photo shoot done right now in this moment? I mean, there'll be a time when I'm ready to dedicate 2 to 3 weeks in a calorie deficit to get photo shoot ready. And when that time comes, I'll know it. And it's just a matter of going with how I'm feeling and knowing the trade-offs there. What I actually want more out of my life right now. Big difference, like I said, 50 pounds, that's a big difference. I wanted to lose that 50 pounds a hell of a lot more than the cheesecake at that time. So it makes a difference with where you're at. I think I'm gonna get into that in the next video, probably the Jack the Throat podcast that is coming up this Friday here. So we'll dive into that topic of like kind of losing that last little bit of fat and kind of the difficulties that come with it that you may not realize. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this whole approach, this whole idea of, do you want it bad enough? Are you willing to do what it takes? And for me, I'm not willing to be in a calorie deficit right now. And especially this season, like football starting, there's so many different comfort foods going on. And I'm in a good place right now. And just dropping 2 to 3 pounds, it's not gonna add much more value to my life right now. I do want to get that photo shoot done, like I said. I'm looking forward to it. There will be a time where I'm like super excited for it and it's going to drive me big time, but that's not this time right now, and I'm cool with that. So it's a decision, it's on me, it's my choice, I know where I'm at, so I know how to approach my nutrition right now and my life, my dieting lifestyle right now. Dieting isn't just fat loss mode, it's maintenance, it's muscle building, it's how I'm living my life to the fullest right now. So as I'm rambling on here, the more I realize that it truly does come down to how bad you want to achieve your goal, and are you willing to do what it takes to get there. Now, what it takes to get there, there's many different approaches that you can use to create a calorie deficit, which is the most important when it comes to getting lean. There's all different kinds of workout plans that you can follow. Sleep, not negotiable, man. You've got to make sleep a top priority, and managing your stress. Those are two very important things. But workout plan, diet plan, it doesn't really matter as long as you're hitting your calorie targets consistently. So following a plan that suits your natural eating tendencies is always going to be best. But again, coming down to doing what it takes to get there and really being willing to just wanting it bad enough. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please take a moment to drop a comment down below to share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback. If you enjoyed today's video, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you know a fellow bro who'd benefit from watching today's video, do me a favor and share it with them. And before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you in the next video.